episode 6. The Welsh Wizard is back, and we just wrapped up the keyword research. So now we're going straight into content strategy today. So yeah, definitely if you've landed on this video somehow, some way, go back and make sure to watch episode 5, because that sets up everything for this, which is, the keyword research comes before and kind of is the precursor and leads us into the content strategy. So yeah, I'll flip it over to you guys, however you want to tee this one up before we just start jumping in.
Yeah, well, there's definitely going to be things that people are not going to understand if they don't watch the previous video. So I'd say take a look at that one first, otherwise some things are not going to make sense here.
Yeah.
I think today
all right,
we'll do a little role play, right? So me and Colin will perhaps be the client in this one. So yeah, we'll try our best to ask you questions to just break down the methodology and the reasons why we do strategy a certain way. So yeah, we'll play as the client on this one.
So no pressure.
No.
This is fun.
Yeah, that's it. Over to you, Chris.
Get a screen share going. All right. Let me know when you guys can see. Is that big enough?
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Is that big enough for you?
Yeah, that'll do.
Sick. This is what I'm going to work with. Right. So some of you like to do a little hack. So obviously it's about a pool building company.
Mm-hmm.
So something I like to do at the start is kind of start off with a types of, something like that. Types of gardens, swimming pools I started off with, whatever comes to mind. Like I say, you've got to watch last week's video really to understand what's going on with these sheets. This Ahrefs filter sheet, excuse my phone. And also with Ahrefs, so we're setting it to US. So what we're trying to find is something pretty general about swimming pools. So we're going to take a look at, so if you watch the previous video, we're kind of going to try and chase down, obviously there's no volume for this. So we're going to try and chase down.
So just to jump in, this is like supporting content that we're talking about. So is this any of the keywords that we pulled from yesterday, or just kind of walk me through why we're
Not
searching
yet.
these? Okay.
So really what we're looking at is a blog post. It looks like types of pools, different types of pools being a long tail. So again, watch the previous video and you'll see that this is kind of all the different things we can rank for. So basically we take that.
Just from understanding.
Sorry, mate. Yep.
Sorry, mate. Just from understanding, you've used the words types of in front of pools.
Yeah.
So we're, of course, doing a pool building website, but could you do the same thing for types of, I don't know, roofs, types of...
Yeah, this could be any business.
Kitchen.
Types of hair restoration.
Yeah.
Types of shingles for roofs. It's, any type of business really. And it's quite rare it doesn't work. I've seen it. There's some business where it doesn't work, but 99% of the time, this is going to give you a good blog post, which is also going to give you ideas of specific pages you can create for the business. So, for example, we might have Austin plunge pools, Austin, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So, it sounds a little bit counterintuitive to start with a types of pools blog post on a website. But when you've got that, you've got an understanding of all the different types of pools you can look into for that local search of people looking for concrete pools in a specific city, or they're looking for lap pools, fiberglass pools, infinity pools. That is, especially if you haven't got a good understanding of the business yourself, this is a good place to get an overview of all the different types of pools that, a client, our client, could possibly be selling to their client, if that makes sense.
Yep. Copy that. All right. So types of pools.
Yep. So, you start off with just the idea like that. Bring number one over to copy the link address. Put it into Ahrefs. And, this is going to give you your top level keyword again. So you can, build out the blog post. Types of pools, different types of pools, types of above ground pools, going to be like a subheader. You just work through this. Swimming pools in homes, perhaps that could be to do with indoor stuff. You're just basically trying to feed Google all of these keywords. Do as well as you can. This is going to be like a national post, not a local post, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
But you're also showing Google you're an expert on the topic, where you start out with things like this, and then you can go into, what is an infinity pool, things like that. So we're getting ahead of ourselves with regards to the blog posts. But this is also going to give you the different types of pools you could possibly offer. So where are we? Austin, right? So let's look at Austin infinity pools, for example.
What have we got?
Let's take a look. We want to be looking at, are these businesses, what are they doing? Are they blogging?
Wow.
This is a design type thing,
Yeah.
So again, we're going to take these guys and we'll put them in. See what we can get out of those guys.
I don't think I saw a picture of an infinity pool on that page there.
Nothing.
No.
So, I have done a bit of research before this video. So let's try.
Did I see the top result was Expedia for that search? Is that what?
I think it was TripAdvisor.
TripAdvisor, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, and it was hotels with infinity pools.
All right, so you got this one, for example. Say you're looking into the perimeter pools then. So take this guy at the top. You know what that means if you see purple right from the last video.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've already taken a look into this. So not everything's going to work out. You're not going to find volume for everything. So you see this one, Lautner Pool, Austin. Perimeter Overflow Pools, Austin.
Wow.
So, that's a good start for a like a sub page. So on the home page now, we can start creating a little list of all the different types of pools we create, as long as the client obviously creates these perimeter overflow pools. We can link to the perimeter overflow page. We link the perimeter overflow page back up to the home page with relevant text each way,
Yeah.
And you've got your types of page that can just link everywhere, as you list these types of pages, you can link to your perimeter overflow pool page. Another one
we're wanting to create sub pages. So if we have types of pools, right, as like our blog post, and like you said, it's going to be more national, but then what we're talking about doing here is within those types of pools, trying to see who or what is being searched locally within Austin within those variations of types of pools, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, another one was geometric pools, something like that.
It's so crazy. This is such a great exercise because like I could sit here all day and like ponder the pools that come to mind, but it's like some of these you don't know until you use some of these tools to actually really discover what are some of these long tail keywords that people are looking for, especially on a local level.
Mm-hmm. And you can even send out the types of pools article, send it out to your writer, have them write it, tell them to be really thorough on the different types of pool possibilities that there are, and then you just try all those with Austin. Just do what I'm doing here,
Mm-hmm.
So you see, geometric pools, Austin. We got some volume there, and always going to try and find that top level keyword. That's the only thing you're getting. So, even things you're not sure on. Like last week, we were looking at above ground pools, right?
Above ground, yeah.
Yeah, so we said we'd kind of test that on the homepage, but you could still, put those into the types of and kind of see what starts turning up in Google Search Console again. So, the end result, just bringing this over, is, when the research hasn't even really started, but we've got these kind of ideas already. Right
so
off the bat,
looking at? What is this?
So this is basically a workbook that we'd use for the client to show them ideas for articles, So say you guys are the client.
Yeah.
Do you do geometric pools? Yes, no.
Yes.
So we just scrap this idea or say yes, client approved, and we build you a geometric pools Austin page.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
perimeter pools, geometric.
Lautner, I don't know how you pronounce that actually. These might be on the same page. Looking at this one, this guy ranks.
Yeah, I don't even know what Lautner pools are.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the same kind of name for a perimeter overflow pool, something like that. But seems so.
It must be like a type of infinity pool.
Yeah,
because that's the same idea, right?
Yeah. Very, very, very simple page. So maybe 500 words on here.
Yeah.
So even to test pages like this is, you can knock that page up in 30 minutes probably.
Mm-hmm.
And what are your thoughts, Chris? Like, I know there's always, with these tools too, it says, search volume monthly, 20, 30, whatever, do you find typically with these that's actually the search volume, or once we get into Google Search Console, say we went after, one of these types of searches that has 30, do you usually see more or less, or is it on par with what Ahrefs is telling you?
It could go
in terms of volume.
Is pretty good. It's pretty good, Ahrefs, in terms of volume. What I find Ahrefs is good at is the order of, taking a look at that types of page again. I've actually closed it down now. But usually you'll find, the order they put them in, which one is the top level keyword, and the volume gets less and less. That's the way it was sorted.
Because I've seen before with clients where it says something like 0 to 10 or 20. And when we look at the impressions for that search on a Google Search Console, it's usually quite a bit bigger. So just because it has low search volume, doesn't necessarily mean that you should negate it. And it's definitely worth giving it a shot, especially, if the keyword difficulty looks ripe for, the taking and stuff. And so you just you won't know until this thing is published, indexed, and you have some time to kind of see what impressions you're picking up for it, because you'd be surprised a lot of the times.
Yeah, well, that's it. Something like this, you're getting a lot of, when you're looking at blog posts, you're going to get much more information. When it's a local business, sometimes this is all you're going to get,
Yeah.
But then once you get the feedback from Google Search Console. What are you getting impressions for? You can go back and tweak the page for those phrases. Regarding volume, like you say, maybe it is 20, but I guarantee people are typing this in a half dozen different ways.
Right.
You know what I mean?
All the different semantics. Yeah. Yeah.
Just the types of pages that you're starting with there.
Mm-hmm.
Your service pages, is that normally the way that you would start off the strategy, the content strategy, with service pages?
Yeah. The types of is, that's just a good way to get yourself familiarized with what the client offers as well, because I can go back to you guys are the client. I go back to you with all these different types of pools. Do you build these? Do you build these? We'd still put them in the blog post.
Sure.
Just to be thorough, so Google likes the page kind of thing. But yeah, well, it's just gives you that initial outline of what that business can do with regards to creating pools for their clients. So you're familiar as well with their business, So it's like 3 different things it's doing for you there.
Yeah. Yeah, good. And this would work in repair as well, right? Because you could do types of pool repair, I guess.
Yeah. Resurfacing, leaks.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We can test it.
Yeah, what does that do?
Types of pool repair. You had to find something it wouldn't work for, didn't you, Robbie?
No, there you go.
There you go. Crack repair, pull pump repair.
Yeah.
Let's try it out, see what we get.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, that could be if they do repairs. Do you guys do repairs?
We do it all.
Anything there?
Yeah. There's nothing there.
Guys. No, nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't always work.
Yeah.
Perhaps we've just hit a page where Ahrefs isn't showing us anything and other pages will. Oh, 4 keywords. Wake up Ahrefs. Common pool repairs. There you go.
Oh. Yeah.
All right.
So that could be, crap traffic, especially when you look at it on a national level.
Yeah.
The idea isn't, well, we try and rank these pages, but the idea isn't to get traffic to the site so much as to have relevant content.
No, but I think the framework here is the strategy. We start with types of whatever it is. So types of pools as a piece of blog content. And then that blog post then forms our content strategy for creating pages that are bottom of the funnel.
Service pages.
So service pages, yeah, which is quite a unique way of going about it, and it takes away all the guesswork as well.
Yeah. Plus, if you got a client with you, actually going through this exercise like we are, they can actually give you feedback on the types of different pools you could add to that types of page. You could do this research literally sitting with a client. You've seen how fast it was to, if you've got, I would never have looked up geometric pools. If that client is sitting talking to me and says, what about geometric pools? I'm going to put that in geometric pools, Austin, bang, there you go. You're on another page.
Yeah.
All right. And then what's your threshold? Like how long and how in depth are you doing this? Are you looking to just get, 5 to 10 ideas, or, what's the cutoff for you on this?
Yeah, you want to be looking for, it's kind of ongoing. It depends. When you do these types of, sometimes it can go into the dozens and dozens depending on the business, And, talking about roofing is just, types of shingles, for example. There's whatever else they do on the roof. There's different types of those, you know what I mean? Different types of tiles, different types of tile materials, that kind of thing. So you could have several types of posts on one site, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And then, so how do we prioritize this? So let's just say, I guess in this case, we're just going for types of pools, right? So we have our types of pools, we know the content we're going to write about, and it's going to basically create or identify the service pages for the things that we do build. So then what is that like? I would say we kind of start there and we just start going into the next step, which would be, content briefs, or like, I guess it's really kind of understanding for somebody who would be maybe doing this themselves, that's a pool builder, is like, when do I stop with okay, this is good. I know this is an ongoing thing and I could go a lot more in depth through the strategy, because strategy, it's always this like living, breathing thing where you're constantly uncovering new things to write about. So, where is my good stopping point? Like, what suffices for me to then be like, I'm going to pause here, which I'm going to then go to the next step, which in this case is the content briefs, which we won't get into in this video, but like just trying to find that stopping point, because, people I'm sure could spend all day and be like, well, is this good enough? Like, where should I just start now? Like, should I start creating these pages? Like, what's your thought process on that?
I would say it kind of depends on whether you've got an existing site or you're building a brand new site for a start.
Okay.
If it's an existing site, I would just start, get the keyword, hammer it out, get it live. The sooner you get the page live, the sooner you're going to get some business coming into it. A new site, perhaps you could answer this, Robbie, because you like a specific amount of pages before you launch, right?
Yeah.
So in that case, I'd be looking to get.
Yeah, I think what you say in terms of if you've got an existing pool building site, you've done the research and you've now got a list of keywords that you're doing. So as soon as you've got 3-5 of them, you may as well then go ahead and start writing that content and then updating your site, like Chris has just suggested. Whereas if you're building a new site, my recommendation and preference would be I would say a number to stop at would be 10. So once you've got 10 of these pages to create, then go away and get all of those 10 pages created. So then that would give you somewhere, I know we looked at some of these in this particular niche, there's maybe about 500 words on the site, but then you're going to start to have 5,000 to 10,000 words of content ready to go when you launch your site. So it's niche dependent how much content you need for different niches. So yeah, I would say 10 pages in the first instance would be a good stopping point. And then once you've finished those, you can then come back and then see what else you need to work on next once you've done those first 10. So I would say hard stop at 10, and then go from there.
Okay, so basically, to kind of wrap up this idea, we're using top of the funnel informational keywords, right, to kind of kick off the strategy of what pages are going to be created. So we're leading with the blog, the informational stuff, things that people are trying to educate themselves on, which dictate and help us build out exactly what parts of those blog posts, in this case, types of pools, that we actually offer, and make sure, because we're just saying we are building this from scratch, so we'll just say we don't have an existing website. So then we're going to make sure we have those service pages for each of those types of pools that we do actually design and build for. And then we'll say, once we have 10, we want to get those up as quickly as possible and prioritize those, which may be a good last little bit to end this on, which is, how do I prioritize which ones I'm creating? Does it really matter as long as I just get all 10? Kind of just understanding then how this feeds into the next step, which is the content brief. So we have that idea, the strategy, and now it's like, okay, which one do I start out with, or which page or blog post and or service pages am I starting out with first?
That's going to come back to us as well, I guess. There's a client So you might want to start with your most profitable commercial terms or pages or services, rather. So
yeah, there might be specific types of pools that are bringing a lot more money for the client.
Boom. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whereas you've also got some of these pages just might be so easy to rank as well. So that kind of makes sense as well. You just got to weigh it up for yourself. But
yeah,
if you've got a writer and you can pump them all out in a couple of days, it doesn't really matter. But if you're doing it yourself, that's something you might want to weigh up.
All right, great. Or go ahead, Robbie.
Preference would be just think about that commercially. So commercially, which services make most sense, bring in the most revenue, or the easiest for your current team to do, and then work down from there. That's the way that I would look at that aspect.
Perfect. All right, we got that playbook for the strategy down. We'll wrap it up there, and tomorrow we'll go into the briefs. So basically, how we then take these keywords and lay out exactly what a page is going to look like, from site title tag, meta description, the H2s, imagery, all that good stuff. So we'll dive into that tomorrow. But yeah, all right, strategy set.
Awesome, Chris. Thanks for that tidbit as well on the types to stem the research.
Yeah, it's a nice little hack, right?
That's a good one. Thanks, mate.
Yeah. All right, fellas.
Nice one.
Tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
Good job.
Later, guys.
All righty.